I want What's Your Dream to be more famous than YOLO. I think so many people hold themselves back from their own potential, from the things that God has called them to do. Everything I regret are the opportunities I had that I didn't seize.
The thing that we're called to create above anything else and cultivate is relationships. We're called to create disciples.
I went through a divorce when I was 25. Wow. Yeah, rattled my life, man. And I could have easily walked away during that period of my life. And there was probably like a month or two straight after where I probably did. It was really at my rock bottom that I realized Jesus was my rock. My God mission came before anything else, at the expense of everything else too. My dream became my idol, pretty much.
When I push myself to chase my dream, it has to be God first. How am I caring about the people around me? And then from that, what is he calling me to do?
We serve a huge God. I feel like I'm being my most true, authentic, creative self when I'm putting that magic back into the world. I snuck behind my wife's back and sent a cold email to the Satanic Church. I joked about it for years, going, "Oh, one day I want to film a Satanic priest stream," and like my family, shut it down. Like,
yeah,
California.
They respond to you.
Amazingly.
There we go. All right. That was a whole thing. It didn't have to be a whole thing, but it was, and that's how things
dramatic.
are today. So yeah. But had to switch hats, as you see.
Oh, dude.
And had to give you the gift that I was going to give you because I'm blessed to have a sponsor, and they're amazing. And we always like to get gifts for our guests.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, I think you've heard of them once or twice.
Am I wearing your sponsor's
You might
t-shirt?
be, yeah. You told me. There it is, friend of God, baby, friend of God. Yeah, bro.
T-shirt, apparently.
You roll up today and you're just like, yo, like I got this new T-shirt recently.
God damn it.
It's the friend of God. I'm like, well, I'm still gonna give you one.
It was the exact same, dude.
No, not the exact same.
The way
I'll
to
let you
my
open it.
heart
Yeah.
is a T-shirt, bro. A free T-shirt. Is
Free
the way to my
T-shirt.
heart. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Sponsored by He Would Love First. It's a great brand. Yeah.
Bro, let's go. This is epic, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Miracles.
So much, man.
Miracles happen every day, bro. They do. And I mean, I'm a firm believer in that. I think you are too. So I figured you'd love the
bro.
T-shirt. Yeah.
And this is good motivation for me to get to the gym because it looks like it's a high. I'm going to have to get the guns coming out, bro. So I'm going to have to get back to the gym so I can rock this.
Hey, we got a gym. We can go afterwards. Let's make it happen.
I should actually take you boys. I'm literally 2 minutes away.
Oh, well, let's do it.
I should totally
you
join
leave.
do you guys go like every day to the gym?
We try. We tell ourselves we will, and then life gets in the way.
Can you bring guests?
Gabe's on the... Oh, yeah. We can bring a squad of 15 if we wanted to.
Dude.
We have, actually.
I'm here for another week.
Let's work out.
I should totally take
Let's pump some iron.
I'm so in, bro.
So you're from New Zealand, right?
I am.
Okay, cool. And they call it working out there, or do they have a special name for it?
Going to the gym?
Yeah.
Oh,
Pumping iron or...
Pumping iron, just... I actually don't know. I should think this... Bro, I don't really go to the gym often. So I think this here explains everything right here. I pump an iron. Let's go with that.
Let's go with it, yeah.
It's probably not right at all, but...
I mean, when you say it with your accent, it just sounds so much better.
Wait, do you know what a scux is?
I don't know.
That's like a dude that is like fit. Like, dude's looking great.
It's like
ladies love him.
washboard abs
He's a
shredded.
Scux, bro. And then if you're like Zac Efron, you're a Scux Deluxe.
Scux
which is
Deluxe.
like the ultimate Scux. So like, I guess gym culture, you'd maybe call people Scuxes if like...
I've never heard of it, but hey, we can introduce it here in America if you want.
It's a great word, bro. Scux Deluxe, man.
Have you ever interviewed a Scux?
Oh, yeah.
Tons of them.
Tons of Scuxes, man. I interviewed a Scux about 10 minutes ago.
Really? Oh, stop it, bro. Stop it.
That's it. The bromance has officially begun.
It's on. Jade, watch out.
You, me, and Jordan, bro. And this is like an ultimate bromance.
Jordan, if you're watching, come back to America, please.
Is Jordan watching this? I don't even know if he's going to watch.
Maybe. He's probably on a
might be
plane in the
watching
middle
this.
of the Atlantic Ocean somewhere.
Jordan, if you're watching this right now, you have to DM us both.
DM us both.
In a chat.
Yep.
Say, guys, I heard the pod. Yeah.
Yeah, just let us know. Well, I never officially introduced you, but Fraser, welcome to the pod. Thank you for coming
Bro,
on.
the pops right now.
The
What's
pops
going
are
on?
crazy. That's a third straight one, actually.
Bro, it's insane. I need to retire the hand.
You only do left-hand daps now?
Yeah. Dude,
No.
thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. My buddy Gabe told me a lot about you, and he's like, dude, you got to have this dude from over the Pacific. You got to have him on your pod.
Kiwi guy.
Because I thought I interviewed a lot of people, but you have interviewed a lot of people. You're over 2,100 now, right?
Yeah, 2,103 today. But I've got like 30 in the backlog.
Yeah.
So it's
Still a lot.
it's a lot. Yeah.
And that's over the course of 8 years. So you
8
do these
years,
interviews. You're running all over the world at this point.
Bro, pretty much every day, man.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
And you're asking people what their dream is. You're inspiring conversations about, just about everything. But you're getting people to actually think about what they want to do with their lives. And to me, that's sick, because that's also what I'm trying to do with this podcast as well. So it's a pleasure to have you on, and hopefully we get to talk about a lot of different things in that area, as well as gyms and working out and who knows what else.
I want to be the gym guy, but I'm not, bro.
What's your hobby? What's
I'm
your
the
hobby?
pickleball guy.
Oh, pickleball. Oh,
Do you play pickleball?
of course. Yes.
We need to. I talked to Gabe last week about we need to tee up a big pickleball night before I go back.
Let's do it.
Me
Let's
and
make
my
it
wife
happen.
play all the time. I'm
Yeah.
obsessed, bro.
Yeah, we'll get it going. We do the King of the Court.
Yeah.
You ever played King of the Court?
Yeah, I played tennis my whole life, so
okay,
I used to play
yeah.
King of the Court and tennis.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's.
We get like 20 people and play King of the Court.
Do you just
do
do
it.
1 point or like first to 3 or like what's
First to like 11.
for King of the Court?
Yeah, you play a full game.
You just
keep going and going and going and going.
gosh, bro.
Yeah.
Please, man.
Yeah. Okay. First order of business. Let's talk about dreams, because that's your thing. When it comes to dreams,
Yes.
first of all, I want to ask you, because you asked me,
Oh,
what's your dream?
dude. Good question, man. No one's
He
ever
goes,
asked me that. Maybe that you're the first person. This whole mission is just a ploy for someone to ask me that question, but
You're
no
like-
one's ever
you're like,
fired it back at me.
2,100 people. I'm good. I'm done. You retire. You're done.
But dude, look, the wallpaper of my phone is this.
Time. What's your dream?
I want What's Your Dream to be on the cover of Time magazine. Because I want to help the planet dream, bro. That's my mission. I just want to help. I want dreaming to become a part of conversation. I want every single person to encourage another person to dream. I want What's Your Dream to be more famous than YOLO,
I like that.
And a bigger part of that dream too is to build a film studio like Disney, but it's centered around dreams. It's films on dreams, TV shows on dreams, books on dreams. We're making dreams come true. It's a creative dream factory. That's what I want to call it. We're gonna build that, man. Me and my wife, and we're doing this as a team now. But yeah, bro, I'm very ambitious, man. In terms of 10,000 dreams, bro, I want to film the dreams of the Pope, the King, Banksy. I want to film a dream in space. I genuinely, bro, I just want to help this planet dream. This is what I feel I was called to do. I feel the reason I was born was to just go for dreams, man. It's so random. This was not the plan at all.
I was going to say, is that something, that you've dreamt of for a while, or was that a recent, not a super recent, but when did that happen?
Well, this project, 10,000 Dreams, started as a bet with a mate.
That's right. Okay.
In
I think I heard that
2016.
somewhere.
Yeah, in 2016, man, it was just a bet. I'd do it for 1 year, film one dream every day for a year. And that became too easy, So I changed it to 10,000 because I thought 10,000 Dreams sounded cool, thinking I could film 10,000 Dreams in 3 or 4 years.
No chance.
Nah, bro. I signed up for a lifetime of filming dreams.
I got to ask, though, what was the other half of the bet? What would happen if you don't?
Bro, see, people ask that now. And he's still one of my best mates. We're so annoyed that we just don't remember because it was so insignificant.
You didn't write it on a napkin or something?
No, bro, we didn't do it. We were just like, oh, yeah, sweet, I'll be your... it was so I'll just go film some dreams. Cool.
Yeah.
There was no, I just wanted to prove my mate wrong. And now in hindsight, I should have recorded it. I should have filmed something. I should have written something down. But I never thought that coffee with a mate would change my life. But it changed the direction of my life, bro. My dream was just to be Peter Jackson, was to be Steven Spielberg. Like that was my dream up to that point. And I was so selfish. And this mission just totally transformed me. It's so weird, bro.
Wild.
This was, yeah.
I want to honestly add though, like, I mean, I asked that question, but thinking about it when you were just even telling me that story, it's kind of cool that you had a bet that didn't necessarily have a negative connotation to it, but it was just a positive.
Yeah, it's a good
and you had a friend who was willing to step up and not necessarily try to put you down and be like, you're going to fail this, and that's why I'm betting you. But he had confidence in you enough to be like, I'm betting you because I know you can do this.
Yeah.
Those are the type of friends you want.
It's a great way of putting it, man.
Yeah.
I never thought of it like that. And the funny thing is, it started with me trying to get him to do it.
Really?
I was saying, you do this for 1 year, man. Because he was going to America and he was like, dude, give me like a challenge to do in America. And I was like, every day in America, you should ask someone what their favorite ice cream flavor is on camera. And then like 10 seconds later, we're like, that's so lame. Like so lame.
That'd be lame after like 10 people maybe.
So lame.
There are only so many flavors. And I feel like most people don't even know more than 5 flavors.
Yeah, it would just be chocolate vanilla or like 10,000 ice cream flavors. Like there's no like story behind that. But then it became, you should ask someone every day what their dream in life is. And he was kind of like, I don't know, maybe, why don't you do it? And then it just flipped. But it's crazy to think that this could have been him doing it. And we laugh about it all the time.
What does he do now?
He runs a business, man.
Oh,
he's
sweet.
an entrepreneur. He's awesome, bro. He's one of my best mates, genuinely. And we just laugh about this all the time because it's just like, wait, what? This is so random. Like you met this person, do it. Like what? It's just,
that's so awesome.
It's all God, man.
Yeah. Well, dude, I want to talk about that a little bit and talk about your relationship with God too as well, because you are a believer and you're a professed believer. You put that out there as well.
Of course.
But before we get to that, I want to hit on dreams a little bit more and just the concept of fear, because fear can hold us back from so many different things. It's something that's like crippling, and whether we know we're crippled by it or not, you know, when we think about like the grander scheme of things, you know, there's fear of God, there's fear of man, and fear of man channeled into fear of other things that men either created or whatever. But can you talk about fear and why fear stops people from dreaming or even chasing their dreams?
Ooh, bro. It's so interesting, man, because like, what's the quote where it's like something like having courage doesn't mean you're not afraid. It just means you step forward regardless. You know, I butchered it, but you know the whole idea.
I get the gist. You guys can look it up at home.
Yeah, C.S. Lewis probably said it. Do you feel like you look at people and you're like, wow, they never feel fear? Like that person, that like hero you look at and you're like, fear just doesn't exist for them. And then you realize that every single human experiences fear all the time. Daily, I feel fear. And it's all about just pushing through. But I think so many people haven't experienced fear and actually pushed through and come out on the other side and gone, oh my gosh, wait, what? That was amazing. What? Oh, what? And, you know, I just think so many people just haven't done that. But once you get through that fear, you realize, oh, wait, I'm capable of so much. Like, I skydived a few months ago.
Oh, that's epic.
My family got me a gift for my birthday, and I was so angry. Genuinely, bro.
You didn't want to do it.
I was so annoyed. Because now I'm like, wait, are you serious? I have to skydive now because you all paid like the $700 sky.
That coupled with the fact that you're telling other people to chase their dreams and be uncomfortable.
I was so upset, and I literally...
Does your family do that a lot? Do they kind of like hold you accountable and they're like, oh, you're the dream guy, like you got to do this?
Not as much as you'd think. I feel like you could easily hold me accountable
100%.
But
I will.
Please, man, I need someone to do that. But I like was trying to avoid the skydive. We were in Fiji, and my wife's like, we're doing it in Fiji. And like even the day before, bro, like I think I pretty much convinced her to just give me the money instead. And I was like, I'm not skydiving. And then I was like, wait, but what if I skydived and did a pitch to Tom Cruise mid skydive in the air to do his dream? I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. So I only did it because of that reason. Mm-hmm. And as soon as I did it, like I was utterly terrified. And it was one of the best experiences of my life. And since then, I've gone, whoa, so much stuff I thought I was scared of. It was all in my head. Even my phobia of snakes. Do you know who Jay Prehistoric Pets is?
I don't, or I didn't until today, and that's what sparked this conversation.
Because serious?
I looked it up because I saw it on your page.
Oh, okay. I was like, that's such a weird.
Yeah.
But you know, like snakes was my phobia, and then I went to film the dream of this guy that has like a mini zoo thing in Orange County, and he's got like dozens and dozens of giant snakes, and I was petrified walking in, and then by the end, bro, I was like kissing the snakes. And I realized it's all in my head. Mm-hmm. And I think so many people hold themselves back from their own potential, from the things that God has called them to do, because they take fear as oh, no, I shouldn't be doing this. Oh, it's too scary. It's too dangerous. It's going to fail. It's like, well, what if it doesn't fail? What if you actually achieve your dreams? What if you start the podcast and you go, look, what if I, post an episode and it gets 2 views and my mates are like, oh, bro, that was kind of embarrassing. And then you kind of talk yourself out of doing it because you're like, what if no one cares? Yeah. It's like, well, what if, everyone cares and then in 5 years' time, you've got the 5th biggest podcast on the planet? You just never know.
Never know.
So I don't even know what your question was, and I probably went on a detour. But I'm very passionate now, I think more this year than ever, is I've started to overcome a lot of my fears this year.
Yeah.
And now I'm very passionate about going, it's all, most of the time it's in your head. There are genuine fears where it's like.
Well, it's not that you shouldn't be like cautious at all.
Yeah.
Pump the brakes a little bit here. But discern whether it's something that's going to kill you immediately. And if it is it worth dying for? And then, if it's not, then challenge yourself a little bit. That's what I'm hearing.
Dude. And like the regret is so much worse than rejection. Mm-hmm. And that's something I've learned in my life. I look back, I'm just turned 30, and I look back in my 20s. Everything I regret are the opportunities I had that I didn't seize, or I was too scared to knock on that door. I was too scared to go up to that person. Like I was at a cafe a week and a half ago, and Christopher Nolan was there.
It's wild.
And I'm pretty...
Talk to him.
Well, I'm pretty good at going up to people and like just being like, what have I got to lose? Yeah. I chickened out, man.
No.
And I'm so annoyed at myself.
I just want to affirm though that that's definitely real though.
It's so real. Like you think like right now, you're like, oh, if you saw Nolan tomorrow, you'd be like, yeah, I'd go to him. When you're in the moment, bro, you're like, you start overthinking everything. Like it's just, but I'm so disappointed in myself. Whereas if I'd gone up to him and he'd slapped me and said, get out of here, would have been a great story. Yeah. Either way, it would have been a fantastic story.
You might get more views on the story than you would interview him.
Exactly, man. But there'd be no regret. It'd be like, I went up to him, he slapped me. All good.
You can get a plaque and put on your wall, I got slapped by Christopher Nolan.
It'd actually be awesome. Actually, no, it actually would have been better if he slapped me. Just thrown water in my face.
Hey man, if you can get other internet celebrities that pop up for random meme moments, I'm sure that could serve you well. Next thing you know, you're internationally famous for being the guy that got slapped by Christopher Nolan.
Bro, what a legacy, man. On your tombs.
You go from the dreamer guy to the got slapped by Christopher Nolan guy.
Well, dude, do you know who Rick Astley is?
No.
You know the song "Never Gonna Give You"?
Oh yeah.
Never gonna. That guy,
the redhead.
Yeah. That
Sorry,
dude.
I was homeschooled, so my culture's a little. I'm constantly on an uphill battle trying to.
Oh, dude, back, I respect it, man. But
wait, is homeschooling a thing in New Zealand?
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't do it, but it's a thing.
Okay, cool.
And
I always got to ask.
All the jokes are probably the same as
probably,
well.
Yeah. You have no friends.
Yeah. You have no idea what Indiana Jones is.
Yeah. You weren't allowed to watch Harry Potter.
Bro, yeah. I had a mate who was homeschooled and he was like 19. He had no idea what E.T. was, Indiana Jones, never heard of Harry Potter. And I'm just like, What?
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
He wasn't homeschooled. He just lived under a rock.
Pretty. I corrupted him though, and he totally went the other way. But that's another story for another podcast.
We'll come back around to that.
But
when you hit 5,000, let's have another pod. We'll have you back on.
And I'll talk about
And
that
10,000.
story of my homeschooled mate. But anyway, I don't know where I was going with it. But Rikesh, I burnt a bridge massively with Rikesh and his wife because I was an idiot. It was like 4 years ago. I just burnt a bridge, bro, after teeing up his dream. And it's kind of become known now in my circle of mates back home. Like, Rick Ashley hates me. And like whenever the song comes on at weddings, like never gonna give you, everyone like but it's kind of funny. It's like if I had filmed his dream, no one would have remembered. We would have moved on. Everyone would have forgotten I filmed Rick. But now it's become this thing 4 years later. Everyone in my circle still laughs about it. And it's kind of funny. Now I regret, like, I was just image. Like I didn't do anything that bad. It was yeah.
Well,
But
I feel
funny.
like you probably, like you were maybe about to say, like you regret the fact that things happened the way they did, but at the same time you got through that, you learned, and now you're never going to do that with anybody else again. You're probably in a better place for it. You're able to conversate better with people or just approach even other celebrities better, I'm sure.
Dude, it was
so like served you well.
Incredible learning curve, man, of respecting the privacy of people in that position.
Yeah.
And it seems so obvious now, but for the first 4 or 5 years of this mission, not that I was over shit, but like I probably just wasn't respecting the privacy as much as I should have, and being too honest about how I got in touch with people, and it was the biggest wake up call ever, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
oh, I'm sure.
I'm so grateful for it.
Yeah, it's the failures are the things that teach you the best.
Oh, dude.
I think like I wouldn't. Like the biggest one that biggest lesson I went through was like working for a tech startup for 2.5 years, and just going through that whole journey, and it eventually kind of caved in on itself. It didn't really work out, but through that journey for me, I learned how not to do things. I learned how not to do business. I learned how not to, like you're saying, let's conversate with clients and do business with clients, and even learned how to run finances better. And before going into that, you could ask me any question about any of that stuff and I'd be like crickets. But after that, I'm able to suddenly jump into my own ventures and still have a lot to learn, but have like an incredible foundation to launch off of. And I would have never had that if I hadn't gone through the pain that I went through.
Yeah. Oh, dude. It's such a great perspective, eh? Once you realize everyone screws up.
Yeah.
No matter who it is, everyone screws up, man. And when you just accept that it's life, that you take those lessons, like I think it's fair to have like a mourning period of like 1 to 2 to 3 days if you kind of really make a screw up in a meeting or something to kind of reflect and be like, oh my gosh, what have I? But then you come out of that and you're like, actually, I'm sharper now, man. It's the only way to get sharper, eh?
Yeah, only way.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, just be thankful for it, move on, and learn how to, treat people better in future scenarios. Yeah. But no, I mean, as the middle kid of 10 kids, one of my bigger battles with growing up and, coming out of childhood was learning that I could fail, because I put pressure on myself. It wasn't necessarily the product of, how my parents treated me or how my siblings treated me, but I just put on myself the expectation of being perfect or not failing, not sinning, not doing things that are going to upset people around me. And I just became a huge people pleaser. And like that's the majority of my testimony, my relationship with God is the reason I pursued God, the reason I wanted a relationship with God wasn't based off of a desire to be intimate with him because he died for me and I realized what that meant. It was a desire to please the people around me and be this perfect individual, perfect looking person, and also just not want to go to hell. That was like my whole motivation. And it'll be after this comes out, but from this point in time, which we're talking, I'm getting re-baptized / baptized for the first time in a week. And
Amazing,
that's
man.
like the biggest part of my testimony is
Yeah.
that like I got to that point of depression. Same as I remember having a conversation with a friend of mine, and he had gone through all the opposites of me. He had like tried every drug in the book. He had had sex with hundreds of women. He had done all these things, and we're sitting there sharing testimonies, and we're sharing like how we had gotten to the same point of depression,
Yeah.
you know, and how neither one of those things brought us closer to God. They just pushed us further and further away.
Dude.
So yeah, being able to fail and
Oh my gosh,
running
man.
towards that is the biggest lesson I've learned, and still learning to this day.
Totally,
Yeah.
bro. Wait, are you getting baptized at Vintage? Are you at Vintage Church?
Collective Church.
Collective
yeah,
Church.
Culver City. Yep.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
congrats, bro. That's
Thank
such
you.
an
Thank you.
awesome, amazing thing.
Thank you. Yeah, I didn't expect to talk about that on today's pod, but hey.
Get it out there, man.
Yeah, bro. It's out there. But I definitely think it's important to get baptized, you know?
Yeah.
And even baptism itself is, yeah, it's such a pivotal part of your relationship with God. It's commanded by God to be baptized in water and showcase, you know, how you have come into a relationship with God and realized, you know, that He saved you and you're born again. Like it's what you're supposed to do. So I got to the point where I was just like, I'm disobeying God by not being true to my actual testimony.
Yeah.
And by just standing by the baptism that I had when I was a kid. So yeah.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, bro.
Seriously awesome, bro.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Well, I do have a couple questions for you, but one really quick one. Are you naturally an extrovert? Because you've interviewed over 2,000 people already.
Yeah.
Are you naturally someone who wants to talk to people, or are you more of an introvert?
I've become an extrovert.
Okay.
I was definitely introvert when I started this. And in my teenage years, I was definitely an introvert, but I think I've had to change and evolve because this would have been an introvert's torture doing 10,000 interviews with 10,000 strangers. There's no way a proper introvert would go on this mission. So
No doubt.
I've had to, but I think not like I had to as I've I've just naturally become one. I love conversations with people now. It just brings me so much joy now, man. Like I think I've definitely done more than 10,000 hours of conversations, and you just get to the point where you just absolutely love it, man. I'm curious. I'm just genuinely curious about people.
So do you still have moments of being introverted? Like, do you have to recover in certain ways? Or
Hell yeah, man.
Okay.
Oh, totally, bro. Like last night, like we were meant to do something. I just kind of crashed, you know?
Yeah.
For me, it's just I need to crash and just watch a movie and not talk to anyone for like 4 or 5 hours. Every now and then I might need a weekend where I just like become a recluse. But it's rare that happens. Like it's every now and then I just need and sometimes you think you need like a week away from like a week off, but actually all you need is 2 hours to just chill. And then you're like, oh, I'm back.
Happens to me all the time. and the more I same. It's like the more I put myself out there, the less that time kind of becomes. Depending on circumstances, like you said, it can be like longer, but yeah, I agree.
Dude,
I'm right there with you.
How do you procrastinate?
Oh, dude. We're talking about procrastination today. Oh, this is a big one.
I'm fascinated by procrastination.
Yeah.
Because we all do it. And you think you're the only one that does it. You look at everyone else going, damn it, no one procrastinates. Like 20 hours, like just...
Yeah, everybody's just on there.
like, go, hustle, grind.
Well, let me tell you, if you actually do hustle and you do grind, you're going to burn out and then you're going to procrastinate on stuff. It's just going to happen.
Yeah.
Speaking from experience.
Bro. So, yeah, what's your procrastination of choice? Are you a YouTube guy? Are you scrolling TikTok? Are you playing golf?
All the above. I think for me, like the procrastination will just compound if I'm not careful.
Yeah.
So it'll start with a little bit of scrolling. It'll start with maybe some YouTube or some Netflix or something. But then before I know it, if I let that go too long, then it's like, oh, like so-and-so called me. Let me talk to him for an hour and a half, even though I definitely don't have an hour and a half to talk, you know, and then I'll convince myself, oh, but this is like this is kingdom building.
networking.
This is networking. Like, this is caring for people. And yeah, it may be true, but if you're not taking care of yourself and you're not first being intimate with God, then you're going to get burnt out. You're going to not have the energy, not have the bandwidth to even love people well. It's going to be coming from yourself. And for me, and I don't know about you, but for me, when my desire to love someone comes from just my own heart, it's corrupted, it's tainted, it's toxic, and it shows pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Because if I don't get what I want, then you better look out. Like, I'm probably going to be pretty mad, because it's not flowing from God who is changing my heart. It's not flowing from that intimate time with God. So, yeah. But, yeah, golf.
Thanks for being honest,
sure.
mate. What's your handicap?
My handicap?
Do you want to share it, or are we going
I
to
don't really want to
beep
share
it out?
Yeah, I don't really, no, just kidding.
Scratch.
I don't know exactly what it is. I probably don't play enough. But I'd say my handicap is probably around a plus 15.
50?
15.
50? I was like, wow, he's honest.
50 would be
plus
crazy,
50,
dude.
bro.
If it's plus 50, take me off the course.
Get off the...
Put me on the
No one
pickleball
wants
court, dude. Put me on the
That is
pickleball
not
court.
fun for anyone. Plus 15. Nice,
Yeah,
bro. I'm
yeah.
probably sitting at a 23 or something.
Oh, well, then we should play together.
I can definitely, like, I got semi-decent like a
Mhm.
few years ago, but it's, you got to keep it sharp, bro. But I've converted to pickleball as my, like,
Yeah.
that's my thing.
There you go.
I don't...
Well, that's what we should have done. We should have gone golfing,
Bro,
done a pod on the course.
you should do podcasts whilst playing golf, man. It's probably a good way to do it.
I have a homie from the UK, and when I have him on the podcast, I'll probably end up doing that because we always play golf together. Whenever we're together, we always play golf. So yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it then,
Dude.
and I'll call you when I do it.
Please, I made the mistake. So there was a, last time I was here in April, there's a big YouTuber, and his COO, I was there at the studio, and now occasionally he came up and he was talking about golf, and I was like, oh, dude, you play golf? He's like, wait, you play golf? And I was like, yeah, I play golf. And he's like, what are you doing tomorrow? And I was like, and he's like, we're playing golf tomorrow. And so we go play golf. And dude, like, a part of me was like, crap, I haven't played golf in like a year. I hope I didn't talk myself up. Because I played it like, bro, I play golf. Heck yeah. Dude.
Yeah, you got the confidence.
I played so bad. Like, my first shot rolled off the tee. It was so, and he's really good. Like, he's really good. And
like
it was,
every single time he's making contact.
like, he's probably like a 5 or a 6 or something. Like, it was so embarrassing, bro. And it just got worse and worse because I got in my head. And I just, oh, dude, just don't. My thing is, don't ever talk up your golf game.
No.
Always play like, I'm all right. I kind of,
Always.
But it was so embarrassing, bro. I felt so bad.
My grandpa taught me that from a young age.
Yeah.
Him and my grandma, they're huge avid golfers. They passed it down to like our whole family, and we would always go golf with them. Those are my core memories with them. Were golfing, driving range, everything golf. When they retired, they went down to Florida. They got themselves a hat, or they got themselves a house. They got themselves a golf cart. And they played golf every day. That's what they wanted to do.
That is epic.
So that was my childhood, was like going down there and playing golf. Yeah.
My dad was a PGA golfer.
Oh, no way.
So golf's in
and you're a plus 23. Come on, man.
I was reluctant to play because of my dad for years.
Makes sense.
I went the tennis route. But so golf is in my family's DNA too. Do you watch golf?
I do, yeah.
Have you seen the Tiger HBO series?
No, actually, I haven't. I need to, though.
There's a series on HBO about Tiger Woods. It's so good.
All right, bet.
Oh, dude. Well. Yeah. I'm just deeply fascinated by him. Yeah.
I mean, that Tiger's a dog. Talk about mental strength. Talk about the ability to, like, play through anything.
Bro. I feel like I've got so many questions I want to ask you, but
I feel like if he was a believer, he'd be like,
dude,
top dog. He'd be like the Tiger Woods of believers.
Dude, his impact as a believer,
crazy.
Would be insane, crazy. Man.
Yeah. Speaking of like sharing the gospel, kingdom work. I really want to know like where your head's at when it comes to doing the Lord's work, like in the field and just loving people, sharing the gospel. Like, not what's your philosophy on it, but kind of what's your goal with that, along with the project that you're working on with the 10,000 Dreams.
Of course, man. Well, I feel like my wife and I, because we do this as a team now.
Okay.
And we really believe that we're missionaries doing this. This is our mission field.
Yeah.
You know, whenever we film a dream, we spend time with that person. Our goal is to go into that room and just love, to encourage, to build them up.
Yeah.
And that's what we feel called to do, man. And like an example of that, a couple of months ago, we had the opportunity, because I snuck behind my wife's back and sent a cold email to the Satanic Church.
Oh, wow.
Because I joked about a few years going, oh, one day I want to film a Satanic priest stream. And like my family, like shut it down. Like, you're never doing that. Like, don't you dare try to do that. And then we were in Fiji, and I went off and snuck a cold email to the Satanic Church in California.
They respond to you?
Yeah, amazingly, we teed up the dream of a Satanic priest 2 months ago, and it was the first interview he's ever done. I don't know why he did it, but for some reason he said yes to it.
That's crazy.
And it was me and my wife and him. And dude, so many people, including our parents, were telling us not to do it going in. Like, don't do it. This is not good. And we went, well, we're not going in to judge. We're going to love a human. Doesn't matter that he believes the total opposite thing to us. We're just going in to love. And it was incredible. It was such a Holy Spirit encounter, bro. I felt the Holy Spirit tingles like the whole time.
Sure.
You know, like the first thing he said to us, he's like, you know, I want to burn churches down. And he has a tattoo of a church burning on his shoulder. And we're just like, dude, like... we never once went encouraged him into what he was doing, but it was more like, dude, like, share your story, man. Like, we're so curious. Like, I asked so many questions about what a Satanic priest does and what a Satanist is. And it just kind of, I don't know, bro, going in, we kind of were like, is this dude going to have a black cape and like kind of like fangs, and like he's going to sacrifice,
you know, all end up on a table somewhere.
Bro, like all the stuff you think of totally was different, man. I'm like, wait, this is just a dude this is just a normal dude. He just has a very extreme belief because he went through some hurt in his life, which he shared with us. And we're like, oh, I get it. I get why you went the opposite way to the church. And it just blew our mind, man. We're like, we really just feel like missionaries when we do this. And we're so blessed that we get to go into rooms with so many people that we never would meet otherwise. Like, when else would two Christians hang out with a Satanic priest? Never. Outside of a Denny's in downtown LA? It just wouldn't happen. So,
That's crazy.
And there's been so many situations like that, bro. And it's just shown me that everyone has a dream. Humans are so similar. We believe different things, but we're all the same, bro. His dream was to build Satanic churches and Satanic hospitals and schools, but the heart was community. He wanted to build Satanic churches so people would have a place to come and feel welcomed and feel loved. And it's like, wait, he's talking about church just in a total opposite direction, but he's talking about church, a place to be loved and a place to call home.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait, we're so similar. All of us.
Did you even feel like in that interview, were there moments where, like you were saying, like you felt like you were just like similar in the fact that you're human, but did you experience even emotion from his point where that could be like switched and channeled somewhere else? Like his heart could be changed? Oh,
100%, man. And look, it's all through the Bible, man, of God transforming hearts. I don't believe there's anyone that's too far gone for God to transform. So funny enough, he was studying to be a pastor at a church.
Wow.
At the age of 30.
Wow.
So
late in his life, not a
yeah,
kid,
man. So like 100% that if some stuff, like I obviously won't share what he shared with us, but he could have easily become a pastor.
That's
so
crazy.
He clearly has a heart for people, a heart for connecting and loving people.
Yeah.
So I believe it, man, and we want to stay in touch with him.
Oh, I'm sure you will. I'll be praying for that as well.
100%, man. We really just felt like there was a reason we were there.
Yeah. Well, there definitely is.
Yeah.
I shared my dream with you earlier, which will come out at some point. So follow Fraser, by the way. We'll do it at the end, but like follow Fraser because he's constantly sharing these videos and they're really inspiring.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But we are sharing my dream, and I was sharing. You asked me a question about my career and what my dream in my career is, and I think I said something along the lines of like my goal is to use whatever God puts me in to like put me in rooms with people and be a missionary to build God's kingdom, to love on people genuinely. And whatever that tool is, like I just view the career as a tool to get me there, to be that vessel. And so, I completely agree. I think we're all, say it all the time, we're all created to create, and the essence of that creation, the thing that we're called to create above anything else and cultivate is relationships. We're called to create disciples, which means building relationships with people. And that's not easy work. And that's not work that you can just kind of like mindlessly do. No. It's innovative. You have to be on your toes. You have to be filled with the Spirit, because the Holy Spirit gives you the ability to create supernaturally, to create out of a place of pure love that Jesus offers us. And that type of creativity is just unmatched, and comes with a responsibility and comes with a purpose. And so the purpose of being in specific rooms like that, I wholeheartedly believe that's true. And why would God give you that gift? And why would God call you to steward that gift if he wasn't planning on putting you in those rooms with people?
Absolutely, man. And he said, like, when we arrived, he was there before we arrived in the car park. And he was like, I was going to drive off until you two came out. And then for some reason I was like, okay, I'll do it. He was like, I'm not going to do this.
Wow.
But he said, but once I saw you two, I was like, okay, I'll do it. And you just have to go. The Holy Spirit was in that room. And I think there was impact from his dream, from seeing the response from people. Like, it was 100% just love. Mm-hmm. Christians commenting, being like, dude, it's awesome. Omen, like his name's Omen. Like, dude, we're praying for him. Like, this is, and it's like, you never know. It's just the little ripples. You just never know what that could have meant to him to see that response from a Christian community, or you just never know. And
to even see someone like yourself who, I'm assuming you professed you were a believer in that scenario.
Yeah, we did, but we never went in preaching, and we never went further. Like, I think he knew too. I'm pretty sure he 100%. Was like, if you're in Christians. Like, I think he knew.
If you're in that position, and I think that's the beauty of
for sure
of the whole thing, is you maybe don't even have to explicitly say it sometimes. People know, bro.
100%.
People know, and it's like, I think I don't know. I've seen the church, or just Christians in general, just think about evangelism as, you have to go and explicitly say, I believe in Jesus, and I'm here to like change your mind, or like I'm here to evangelize you or love you. And sometimes it's more just like, hey, I'm so-and-so, my name is, and I'm here to care about you, and I'm going to show you that I'm going to care about you. I'm not going to tell you. And that's all I'm here to do. And if God provides a scenario where your heart is open to something that God has to say, then he's going to give me the words, and I'm going to tell them to you. But other than that, all I'm called to do is be a vessel for love. Dude. And it doesn't matter who you are or where you are. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to like obey in that way.
Absolutely, man. There's a great quote, which is like, wherever you go and spread the gospel, and when necessary, use words.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, I love that quote.
You don't have to use words, man. Yeah. The best compliment I feel like anyone could give you, and I'm sure you've received it, and is when people are like, are you Christian? And you're like, yeah, how'd you know? And they're like, oh, it's just something about you. I could just tell.
Yep.
Or if they're like, they might not even say, are you Christian? They'll go, what is it about? There's something about you. Mm-hmm. You just seem so positive. And so I always find, like, you go, it's God, man. Like, that's the answer.
The immediate point to the sky.
Yeah, and I always find that's
the
best compliment when someone goes, are you Christian? And they have no idea.
Yeah.
Because you go, well, clearly you're presenting something that is positive and is showing that light. I guess. Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that there is a connotation, like a negative connotation too, or a negative side of that, where people nowadays, because of
course.
of corruption and all of that, like, you know, if you handle a situation badly, like they can be like, oh, are you Christian, in a negative way? But yeah, I think for the most part, there's a lot of people that are out there that basically say like, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual, or I'm not religious, I have a relationship with Jesus. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of theology behind that. And I personally believe like the word religion is meaningful still, and it's used in your relationship with God. Like it's there for a reason. But like the fruits of the Spirit, the fruits of the Holy Spirit, the fruits of a relationship with God are always loving and they're always caring. Doesn't mean that truth isn't like right there next to it. And truth is convicting, but there's a difference between conviction and just like blasting someone and like showing hate.
Of course, man.
So,
of course, bro.
yeah. It's always the fruits of the Spirit are always positive. Love, joy, peace.
Dude, me and my wife always say that we go, it doesn't matter what someone says, the fruit will be obvious. If they say they're a Christian, but you don't see any fruit, they might not even say they're Christian, but there's a ton of fruit. You know, I feel like the fruit.
I know a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
And I believe their lives are touched by the Lord. I believe the Holy Spirit dwells with them. I believe like God is walking with them and shepherding them in a certain way. And I just look at people like that. I look at my friends that are like that are just joyful. They actually care about people. They're kind. And I'm just like, oh man, like I can't wait for the day that you
100%,
like
man.
get to just have that intimate relationship with God, like, and you turn to Him and you experience the fullness of the fruit that you're experiencing right now. Yeah.
So good, man.
Yeah.
So good.
All right. I got another question for you. What would your mom or dad be most proud of you for up until this point?
Oh, dude. Well, that's a question I've never been asked before. Wait, what would my mom and dad be most proud of?
Yeah, what would your mom and dad be most proud of you for at this point?
Holy heck, man.
Take your time, man. We'll go to intermission.
I would probably say that I'm still walking with the Lord. Having gone through something in my mid-20s where I probably easily could have walked away from God. I think the fact that going through trauma made me closer to God. Yeah. I would probably say that, man.
Can you expound on that at all? Or
Yeah, I went through a divorce when I was 25. Wow. 25, yeah.
Wow.
I was married for nearly 3 years and ended suddenly, and no one saw it coming. It totally, rattled my life, man. And I could have easily walked away during that period of my life. And there was probably like a month or two straight after where I probably did.
Wow.
And thank goodness, man. I kind of was at the same church my whole life. And then when I was going through that, I basically went to a brand new church, created a brand new friend group, like almost restarted my life in a sense.
Yeah.
Because I had to leave the world I was in for like the first 25 years of my life.
Did your family go to that church as well?
Yeah, like 100%, bro. I was like,
do they still go there? Or did they
no, not anymore.
Okay,
My dad's a pastor at a different church now.
Oh, you're PK.
Yeah.
Nice.
My dad was a youth pastor at that church, and now he's a senior pastor.
I love it.
But bro, if it wasn't me going to that new church at my lowest point and finding a group of lads, kind of like what you've got here, that changed my life, man. But I could have easily walked away, but it made me stronger, pushed me towards God even more, bro.
Wow.
And now the grace of God, I've met Jade, and I'm
That's awesome.
in the most incredible marriage, and I just feel blessed, bro.
Praise
but
God.
yeah, I'd say my parents would say that.
That's so awesome, bro. Yeah. I mean, I would have never guessed.
Yeah, it's not something that people seem to.
But yeah, I mean, to see you sitting here now, even just walking up to you earlier, just like meeting you for the first time. Yeah, it's just the fruits of the Spirit definitely just flowed off of you, and interacting with you in the first 2-3 minutes.
Thanks, man.
Not that a smile tells everything, but you can kind of usually see what's behind a smile. And It was genuine joy. It was genuine care for even me and just getting to know me in those like first few minutes and then the minutes that followed. So yeah, bro, I can sit here and just give you or share hopefully encouragement and testimony that you are still there and walking with God.
Thank you so much,
and
bro.
It's a beautiful thing to see.
Yeah, thanks, man. I mean, it really is like one of those things where like you don't ever expect your story to include a divorce, especially as a Christian. That's not at all something you imagine going through. It's like the D word in the church.
In the world that I came from, divorce is like one of the highest sins.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what's going on. You stick with it. You better stick with it because, even if someone is just acting incredibly evil, they are overcome with hate, rage, whatever. Especially as a woman, like you're like told to stick it. Like you can't walk away. You can't even seek help outside of like that home. So
yeah, bro. But it was really at my rock bottom that I realized Jesus was my rock, and I think I activated actually living a life for Jesus, for God, coming out of that. So before that, I was definitely a Christian, but I don't think I was actively living it out as much as I could have until after that. And then I was like, oh, this is what it means.
Can you explain that difference?
I think it was probably maybe the world I grew up in and some of the friends and being surrounded by people who maybe didn't take their faith seriously. It's, we're all Christian because we all go to youth group and we were all grown up at the church, but we're not living a Christian life. We're not necessarily showing fruit, or we're still acting in the way of the world in a lot of areas.
Yeah.
But we're Christians, so it's all good. Yeah. But not really like I'm sacrificing my life in order to pursue who God's called me to be. It was only after going through a divorce that I really realized that I only want God. Like, it's just not worth it on my own, man. I just got tired of living for myself, and I just didn't take it as seriously as I should have. But I never really went through anything tough in my life until that. So there was no real reason to kind of shock me into like a bit of oh my gosh, it was such a blessing, man. But I also I was doing 10,000 Dreams at the time. And at that point, it was every single day for 10,000 days. I was doing it every day for 27 and a half years.
Wow.
And I did 5 years every single day. So the day my marriage ended, I left the house to go film a dream.
Wow.
And put on a fake smile.
Wow.
And I thought, well, God's called me to do 10,000 Dreams. Therefore, my job right now is to go and film a dream.
Wow.
Only in hindsight, I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Your job in that situation as a husband is to, that's your job, not to go off and film a dream. So even stuff like that, bro, that now in hindsight, I'm like, I was so selfish. And I'm still selfish, man. We're human. Yeah. Like, I've got so much to work on, but I was so selfish back then, man. I thought my God mission came before anything else, at the expense of everything else too, even myself.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I mean, from even the way you explain it, it doesn't seem like you were caring for yourself even.
No, bro.
To go that hard.
Oh, dude, it destroyed me, man. Like, I fizzled out so bad. I filmed 1,819 dreams in a row.
Wow.
Every one a day, and I was locked in, and it became my identity, and it was destroying me. It was a prison I created. because no one put me in that but myself. No one said you have to do this every day. It was me that said it because I wanted to be the crazy, wild, oh my gosh, you're insane, bro. That's an incredible achievement. It was more about me than it was about inspiring people to dream. Now it's a life mission. At that point, I killed it for a year. And I was done. Like I had to go to the altar and sacrifice my idol, which my dream became my idol pretty much. And I told everyone I was taking a 2-month break over the summer, but I was done. I was so over it, bro. And it was probably 14 months later, first day of Lent, I woke up and felt God saying, pick it up again. And I spent the next 40 days of Lent saying no. And in that 40 days of Lent, I had multiple pastors and people reach out to me randomly saying, hey, I feel like God's telling you to start 10,000 Dreams again. And I was just saying, no, I'm never doing that again. I'm done with that. And thank the Lord I picked it up again, because everything that's happened since picking up again and not having the daily thing, but just making a life goal, bro, it's been insane. God has just transformed me in Jade's life doing this, and it's all him now, man. And of course, there's so many periods where I go, oh, it's become about me again. I need to, but my heart is so much more for people now. Like I was ticking a box, man. I would go film a dream and hey, man, yeah, it's really cool. What's your dream? Cool. Thanks, man. Bye. Tick a box. Cool. Now I can get on with my life.
Yep.
There was no, let's sit for an hour. Share your story, man. Let's chat. Let's hang out. What do you need? Like, there was none of that. It was just about me ticking this box so I could be the crazy guy. So I really had to sacrifice my dream. And it was the scariest thing I ever did, man, because it was my identity. It was my everything. And everything great that's come career-wise has happened since picking it up again and obeying God. And it wasn't something I wanted to do at all. And he's put me and my wife in some crazy situations since then, man. And it's just insane. Yeah.
There's so much there, but one thing I just kept hearing over and over was the fact that you sacrificed your dream.
Oh, yeah.
In order to eventually come back around.
Yeah.
And receive that dream in a new light. As the dream guy, you're sacrificing your dream. You're being like,
so it's ironic, isn't it?
Yeah, you're being like, oh yeah, you're essentially almost saying, yeah, I was wrong, in a way, or it could be perceived that way. And so to throw that away, to be like, no, like I was getting everybody to chase their dreams, but now I'm gonna sacrifice my dream, and I'm just gonna like not do it anymore.
Dude, and it was a proper sacrifice too. Like I didn't go, oh, I'll sacrifice it so that in a year I'll pick it up again. Like it was like, I am never going to film a dream again, and I am content with that. Like I had to kill it.
But I think that's but you were dying to yourself. That's the toughest thing to do, is to lay down your pride and die to yourself.
Bro.
And realize that it's like not about you at all. And I don't know. It's like such a paradox, because we have our desires and we have the desires that God gives us. And I think those two can become clouded sometimes. But what it seems to me like you're saying is, you had the dream correct in theory. You felt that God was calling you to do this, because clearly he is now. But you had to realign the focus of why you were doing that, the mission behind it. And you had to basically become more intimate with God to make that clear.
Yeah.
And in your case, it was quintessentially the same thing.
Yeah.
Right? Like you laid it down and then you picked it back up. But for other people, for me, for example, it was like laying down school and stepping away from that, because I felt like there was something different out there that God wanted me to do, or laying down a certain relationship, or laying down like expectations for something. like, I don't know, when I talk about like chasing your dream, when I, push myself to chase my dream, it's, it has to be God first. It has to be, what does God desire of me as a person? How am I caring about the people around me? And then from that, what is he calling me to do?
Yeah.
And when it's all about the people, then it like becomes clear why you're doing anything else.
So what they like say around like, as a man, like as a husband or a father, if your like, it's like you could be killing it at work, killing it. But if your family is struggling or your family aren't feeling loved or cared for, then it doesn't matter. Like that's where it is. It's like, that's the real, it's easy to kill it at work. It's hard to kill it as a husband, kill it as a man, kill it as, like it's a way easier to be like, I know we have date night tonight, but I want to go film the stream because this is a great opportunity, and to let my wife down because I don't want to let this person who I've never met down. Mm-hmm. And that's something I still struggle with, bro. And I have to look at myself in the mirror and be like, dude, why do you constantly fall short as a husband? Mm-hmm. And you're so driven to change the world and help the world dream. But if your wife's not happy, then what? Yeah. None of it really, who gives a crap? And I learned that the hard way, where it was an extreme version of that, of, not being aware at all of another person, in that sense of just, well, I'm doing this, God's called me, just trust me, this is, And so, yeah, man, there's been so many, but like we talked about before with learning, man, like you kind of have to fail in order to learn and to be sharp. And but my gosh, bro, like I really do aspire to be a man that's going, nope, sorry, Obama, I promised my kids we go to the zoo today. I want to be that guy. I hear stories about people like that, and I'm like, that's so freaking awesome, man. To be that guy that's like, nope, 6 p.m., I'm off. Don't care. Call me tomorrow. Like, I'm not even, like, I really respect that so much, and I aim to be like that, man. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's probably tied into my dream. Yeah. I want to be that guy that actually puts family first in every situation. And I'm way better than I was, but I was going to say it's
about the hardest thing that you can probably do.
Constantly fall short of that, man. Yeah, it's so easy to put family second.
Mm-hmm. Can you expound upon just like, I think the differences of even like the levels that people need to go to like learn certain things? Because you said we fail to learn, like that's an important relationship there. But something that's always fascinated me is the fact that, because God designed us all as unique humans, when sin entered the world, we all still have our unique spirits, our unique ways of thinking about things. And because of that, I've seen that like every single person has like a different level of failure that they have to go to in order to like learn a specific lesson. Taking it to the most simple term, it's like, as a 5-year-old, one kid may have to touch the heat on a stove to realize they shouldn't touch that. Another kid may have to get his face burned by it. And then another kid like has the ability to trust his parents, look at the stove and kind of put 2 and 2 together and then be like, and then immediately have that conviction of, I'm not going to do that because I know it's going to hurt me and I don't want to do things that are going to hurt me. So I don't know. I just want to hear from your words, just like your take on that whole concept, because you sit here as a convicted man, but it took a certain level for you to become actually convicted, not just say that you were convicted.
Yeah. And maybe fail was too extreme of a word, but the idea of, when you make mistakes and you kind of drop the ball, you definitely learn faster than when you have big wins, What do I think about that? I don't know, because I guess all you can really go off is where's your personal like kind of radar on that. Like I kind of can't speak for too many other people because you said it's so unique to the person. I think for me, like I have found in life, am someone that pushes stuff to like almost learning the hard way because I'm like, no, trust me. I'll get through that. I'll make it work. I'll get out of this. I'll figure it out. And then going, oh yeah, no, I should have stopped.
Yeah.
5 steps back. You know, that has kind of been a trend, but not saying that's a trend moving forward. I feel like I'm a lot more aware now, probably because of my wife.
Okay.
I find now the best radar gauge, I don't know what the right word is.
Discernment.
My wife, bro. 100%. There have been so many times, like 2 years ago. Also, what time? I just double check the time.
We're good to wrap
Probably
here in like 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, probably need to.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Like two
We're
years.
on a timeline today.
I know we are, man.
I wish we had like
Jesse's
3-4 hours.
I got poker night to go to. Literally.
Dude, gambling's a sin, bro. You can't be doing that
I need
stuff.
to leave to go gamble as fast as possible. Anyway, I won't go into that story. But yes, my wife, bro, 100%. 10 times out of 10. If she says don't do that, she's 100% right.
Mm-hmm.
And 8 times out of 10, I'll be like, no, trust me, it'll work out.
Yeah.
She's always right, bro. She is an incredible BS meter. She can read people straight away. I'll meet someone and go, this guy wants to do work. This is amazing. And she'll be like, nah, but something just feels wrong about that. It just doesn't feel right. And she's got such a gift of discernment, bro.
Yep.
So I feel like I'm a lot wiser now with making less mistakes because my wife will call me out.
Yeah.
Or if I am going to make a mistake, there's a lot of conversations I have to go through too, and I have to be quite stubborn to actually get to a point of making big mistakes because my wife will tell me.
Well, I love having those people in your life too, though, because even on the opposite side, you'll have like something that you think isn't a good idea, but then they're just like, no, that's a good idea. You should do this. Yeah. Or, hey, you need to do this. And you're like, no, I don't actually need to do this. And they're like, no, actually, if you do this, it's going to have a great impact on this person. And if you don't do it, it's going to have a great negative impact on this person. And you need to, whether it's apologizing, whether it's just saying something in a certain conversation, or just acknowledging that somebody is good at something. Like having those people in your life is so important. To push you to like do those things that you maybe wouldn't have done, without them.
100%, man.
Can you really quick though, just if you have anything, just have a piece of advice like for people to kind of like figure that balance out for themselves? Because obviously in the beginning of this podcast, we're talking about chasing dreams, fail and then like learn from failure and, pick up the snake and wear it or whatever, start kissing snakes. But like, how does someone find the balance of like, this is something that scares me and, Fraser told me to do stuff that scares me, but at the same time, having the discernment to not do things as well that are maybe going to have like a detrimental impact, or to have that discernment of learning, hey, I better not touch that stove because it will burn me and I'm going to get hurt.
Oh, man.
We're stumping them today, guys.
Really, bro, it's not often I get stumped with questions. I feel like I'm pretty good at like just pulling out my butt if I need to. But this one's really...
Praise God, man.
Oh, dude, it's a good question when you really have to stop and think about it. What advice? I feel like I'm constantly touching the fire.
This is affirmation, bro. I'm doing my job well.
You are, man. I'm constantly touching the fire. I just really think like fear's such an interesting thing, because half the time I really believe if I'm nervous or scared about something, it's the right thing to do. Maybe
same. I'm the same way. My compass is like physical or mental discomfort, but accompanied by like the peace of God.
100%, man. Like maybe 8 times out of 10, if I'm scared, pooing my pants about something, it's probably a sign I need to do it.
Yeah.
I think bro. I think when you're crossing a line. And I think it aligns to the fruit, where's the fruit? Like, wait, if I do this, am I stealing? Am I cheating? Am I hurting someone? Am I, like, then don't do it. Don't, I'm sure you're nervous before you rob a bank. Don't do it. That's not, what he said, fear. Don't overcome that fear. Undercome that fear. I don't even know if that's a word, but
I'm counting it in my book today.
Undercome it. I like that word. I'll take that word. But like, if you're really aligned with the fruit of the Spirit, then God's going to challenge you daily, man. He's going to put you into situations when if you're about to go and, share a sermon, you're going to be, like, I've done one sermon in my life, and the build up to it during the worship at church and everything, knowing I'm next, I was hoping I was going to break my leg or something in that moment so I didn't have to do the sermon. I was so scared. Thank goodness I did it. The feeling when you overcome fear and you do the thing and it's like you're on cloud 9 and you're like, oh my gosh, that was the greatest thing. That feeling, I believe, only comes when you actually overcome some fear. You don't get that feeling of, it's like a good hard day's work. You smashed the shoot. You did a 12-hour shoot day. You did your absolute best and you get home. That is the best binge of Netflix you'll ever have. When you're sitting down, you've got food, you're watching Netflix, and you did like an incredible day. And you're like, it's bliss, bro. Yeah. This is bliss right now. Yeah. I earned it. I have earned this chill. And I feel like you only get that when you actually overcome fear or you go through tough situations. It's just, courage is just doing it. There's a podcast by Tim Ross called The Basement. I don't sure
I've heard
about it.
Yep.
And he said something that I wrote down once where he was like, and it's kind of, I'm going to butcher it. It was so good what he said. But pretty much like, if God calls you to do something and you can't do it brave, do it scared. Something like that. Like, if you can't do it brave, if
Just
you can't be confident, if you can't, still do it. Even if you're scared, still do it. Just take one step at a time and just still do it,
Even if you're quaking in your boots.
Just do it. And life is so fun. Like, even if you do go and do something, you go knock on that door, you go up to that person or you ask that girl out and it bombs in your face. And, Christopher Nolan slaps you, for coming up to him at a cafe. Who cares? You've got a great story. You'll learn something. Go, maybe I was too aggressive, or maybe I should have not said that, or whatever. But also, it's fun. You look back in life. I look back in my high school years when I bombed it with girls or I did stupid stuff. I kind of laugh about it. I'm like, it's kind of magical. It's fun. I'm glad I was an idiot when I was a teenager. I'm glad I made dumb mistakes because it adds to the whole story of your life. Yeah. It's like, embrace the story. No one wants to read a book where it's just win, 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 win. That'd be the most boring book ever.
The reason why we love, all the great sports athletes is because they went through like so many tough times to get to there.
Dude, exactly, man.
They lost so many times to get to the point where they won.
Yeah. So I don't even know if I answered your question, but that's you really stumped me. I kind of I wung my way through that.
No, it was great. It was great.
Thanks.
Very wise. All right, last question. We're going to hop off.
I got to go gamble, bro.
I got to go gamble. I ask pretty much everybody this question now. But what does it mean for you to be creative?
Do you mean like, how do I get creative? Like, what do you mean? Or like,
what does it mean for you to be a creative?
To be a creative.
Someone who creates.
I think, when you're stargazing.
Yeah.
2 a.m. on a beach. Summer.
Yeah.
And you just feel that magic. You just feel that wonder of God. You just feel like, wow, I can achieve anything. We serve a huge God. I feel like I'm being my most true, authentic, creative self when I'm putting that magic back into the world. And I'm creating work that helps people feel that magic and wonder of God. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I love that, bro. Well, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Dude, thanks for having me, man.
I wish we could talk for like
I'm so
6
annoyed that
hours.
I'm sorry that I had something to run to.
No, we gotta plan. I'm happy that
2.0.
we even got to talk for an hour.
Yeah.
Because I think, I mean, you're headed back
Next week, man.
over the pond in like a week. I just got back into town, and so we're like, we have to do
worked,
it
bro.
now.
It worked, man.
So yeah, I'm really happy we made it happen. Guys, follow Fraser. Who knows? He might interview you sometime. He's got
I got a lot of people
he's
to
got
film.
8,000 to go. So
DM me.
yeah, send him a DM. Share your story. Try to get connected. But yeah, I just pray blessing over what you're doing, man. I think it's really special for me to even just connect with you and meet somebody else who has a similar dream and a similar mission as I do. And for me, even just being in a place where, you know, I feel discouraged in some of the work that I'm doing or the lack of work that I'm doing, the procrastination that I'm in, just being encouraged to a point of wanting to like take those next steps, wanting to be scared and still continue to go on. Yeah, it's really great. So I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, man.
Of course.
Awesome what you're doing.
Thank you, bro. All right. We'll catch you guys later on the next one. Keep tuning in. We're going to keep talking to people. We're going to keep spreading the word of God, spreading the love of God, and just encouraging people to create because that's what we're created to do. So thanks, guys. Peace.